So I'm probably going to end up calling this video The Trouble with Tyla, right? Hopefully that doesn't stir anything up. I really want to do a quick video to explain some of the backlash that Tyla's been getting here in the United States. I want to explain it not only to our South African brothers and sisters, but to Black Americans as well, because I've been seeing confusion online from both sides. As funny as it is to say, I feel like a lot of Black Americans don't really understand why they're having trouble with her. And I feel like, you know, both groups, and maybe even Tyla herself, has been getting jerked around by her marketing team. So let me explain. Up until really recently, where Africa has really started like making their presence known, and like Amapiano and Afro beats and all that other stuff has been kind of like doing the damn thing. But up until that point, almost all, damn near every single ounce of popular culture, rock to country, to samba, to salsa, to reggaeton, all of that cool, all of that came from the Black diaspora, from the African diaspora, from Jamaicans and Puerto Ricans, and, you know, it came from Black culture outside of Africa. Now, we're a very marginalized group, and a highly discriminated against group, but still because of that, our stamp, us looking at something and saying, yeah, that's cool, is extremely valuable to other groups. And I mean all of it. The K-pop, the rock and roll, the hillbilly stuff, all of that originated from Black people, all of it. Now, because of the discrimination, the marginalization, here in the United States, we create spaces for ourselves, for the family to congregate. We got HBCUs, historically Black colleges. I went to Hampton University. We do events where it's like a place to support Black music, Black arts, Black businesses. Like, we put in work to support ourselves. Now, don't get me wrong, like, we are very, very used to other cultures doing our music, our style, and we have applauded them, we have liked them. Madonna, Eminem, Bruno Mars. I don't know what the hell Bruno Mars is, but I just love Bruno Mars. I'm still mad he's not Black. We have radio shows that are dedicated to us. We have magazines to help uplift Black people, because we know that other stations are not going to give us a fair shake. So when I'm looking online, a lot of South African people that I'm seeing comment think that there's some kind of discrimination because she's African. That's not true. Or that the biggest issue is that the term that she calls herself is colored. Also not true. Just so you know, I had family who lived in Pretoria for years. They came back like decades ago and told me about, you know, colored and it's a race, and we had a conversation about it. Some of us in the group, they pointed out, oh, you be considered colored. We laughed about it, and it is what it is, and we forgot about it. So I personally have understood colored to be something that is not Black. You might have Black blood, but you are not Black. Culturally, you don't see yourself that way. So I think the problem is that Tyla's team, not Tyla, at least not in the beginning, tried to use the confusion between how Black people in the U.S. see themselves, how Black and colored people see themselves in South Africa, and make us believe that she's one of us. It's not a coincidence that every time I've seen Tyla, I don't think I've ever seen her with straight hair, which is very, very unusual for Hollywood. She's always braided up or has a very curly style. I've seen her on magazine covers with hair that's kinkier than hers. You almost never see that unless it's some kind of avant-garde something. She's always surrounded by Black artists. She's doing Black African music. When she's come to the States, she's paired up with Black rappers on like any, you know, projects that she's done has been with Black rappers. All her swag and styles, very Black coded. Now, again, we're all very used to that. Bruno Mars is a good example. And we love Bruno Mars. We love Adele. We love a lot of artists that do Black art, Black style. No problem. As a matter of fact, the Black community has been very welcoming of figures like Marky Mark, Vanilla Ice, Post Malone, Iggy Azalea, who have turned out to not necessarily be, I don't know what word to use, respectful of the community. All right, so getting back to Tyla, there is a special kind of love that we give to other Black artists. There are South African Black artists who would come over and be given more love than we would give to, say, an Eminem or Bruno Mars or Madonna. Those people kind of have to prove themselves before they're invited over and given that kind of love. The reason being is because it's like cachet. They're family, and then when you put into them, they're giving back to you. All right. So we give a lot of love to Beyonce and Rihanna because we know, we understand, or maybe we kind of hope that Beyonce is going to turn around and put her Black Panther outfit on and make a statement at the Super Bowl, or that Rihanna is going to do a makeup line that turns around and like make sure that she includes every color, which has never been done before, because she's carrying her people on her back when she goes forward. Also, because when you see a poster of Rihanna, you can look at the Black children or Jay-Z and whoever else and say, look at that person. That person's just like you. You can achieve what they've achieved. That's why we give them more love. We also give way more forgiveness, child, because if Kanye West had done any of the stuff that he had done, like 1/4, one droplet of some of the stuff that he done as a non-Black person, he would have been canceled by the entire world a long time ago because the Black community would have pulled out. But there's a lot of forgiveness and love, extra love given to people that we see as Black. So now Tyla's team brought her to the States, put her on Black magazines, put her in BET, brought her to the Breakfast Club, and tried to use the fact that we would be confused by the one drop rule and how we look at Blackness and think she's one of us. To Tyla's credit, I think that made her uncomfortable, which is why we are where we are today. When they asked her, is she Black, she kind of like looked to the back like, what am I supposed to say? This is at the Breakfast Club that I'm talking about. Let me come at it from another example. Let's say this was 1980s apartheid South Africa. Black people were getting their heads cracked in, trying to protest. There would be a Black man in Philly losing his mind, upset over what was going on down there. There's going to be a Black woman in Chicago crying and calling their senator to protest what's going on, because we see ourselves as distant cousins. We see y'all as family. From my understanding, from what I've seen online from South Africans or what my cousins have told me, as a colored South African woman, she wouldn't connect to those events the way a Black American or a Black person, Black Jamaican, a Black person from France or from London would. She might be an ally, but it would be more of a look at that terrible thing that's happening to y'all. That's the difference. That's why certain people are invited in and embraced and seen as one of us, and other people are, oh, we like you. So yes, the word colored in the United States is looked at as something negative, but that's a simple education. You're going to see people talking about it, that they're offended by it. That's not the problem. Also, that one comment by Armand Wiggins, that uppity African, I've never in all my days ever heard anybody ever say something like that, ever. He's like just well known and on his own kick. That's not a thing, just so you know. So the problem is that Black Americans feel as though they've been tricked into accepting her in a way that we wouldn't ordinarily accept her. And that's where a lot of the animosity is coming from. And I think because she is looked at as a Black woman over here, she does have those drops. Because of that confusion, it's getting funneled into weird spaces like, oh, I don't like the way she didn't hold her statue, or I don't like, this or whatever, because of the word color. That's not the reason. So coupled with that is also, the fact that somebody found her and loved her image. She's a gorgeous girl. She's adorable. She's extremely charismatic. And they hopscotched her over a lot of other talented African artists because her image is less Black and easier to market. Like a Grammy off of one hit song, the Met Gala that quick is insane. And it's why she's getting that's why she's getting the industry plant moniker. But anyway, I hope that covers it. I hope that makes sense. I like her. I hope to give her another chance. I just wish she had started with like Entertainment Tonight and then been invited over into Black spaces instead of them pushing her into Black spaces with a 4C wig on, you know what I'm saying, and trying to pass her off as one of. That's a different type of love. I hope I made sense. I'm doing this for a better dialogue.